Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you once again from the CEO's desk. It is still January by my calendar, so we are still talking about the REPC. Back to the basics. Craig said it well in our last post. This is your bread and butter, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you know this contract inside and out. This is your stuff. So go back, look at the old videos, find posts from the UAR and wherever else you can find info. You can never know too much about the REPC. It only changes once every 8 years, so put the time in. Okay, so we're going to talk about something. I think I've talked about this a little before, but since the reboot of the REPC a couple years ago, this is probably the most confusing section in my mind, and that's 8.3B1, and it's basically the buyer's right to cancel before the financing and appraisal deadline. So one thing we did when we revamped the REPC is we kind of put in time periods to cancel instead of reasons to cancel. So it used to be due diligence, finance, and appraisal. Now it's kind of more time periods. Are you canceling before the due diligence deadline? Then check that. We even revamped the cancellation form to mirror that concept. So instead of saying, well, it's a due diligence issue more than it's a finance issue, now it's when are you canceling? You have a right. There's a great court case in Utah that kind of said, we don't care why someone's canceling as long as they have the right to cancel. So that's where this comes in. So this is the section where you cancel after due diligence, but before finance, right? So now we're saying, all right, you're past your due diligence deadline, but prior to finance, you still have in buyer's sole discretion the right to cancel based off of financing. So what does the contract say? Well, there's this weird little section in there that says that then it leaves a blank for money. It says basically buyer can give up, make hard some of their earnest money after the due diligence deadline. So that blank in 8.3B1 is for what money is the buyer willing to give up. So let's say it's $1,000 earnest money total, and the buyer puts in there $300. Then due diligence deadline comes, passes, but you're still before the finance deadline, and buyer says, I can't do this. It's getting too expensive for me. I didn't get the loan product I want, whatever. And they go ahead and cancel based off of finance. Again, time period. They cancel before finance, but after due diligence. What does it say? Well, it says, I'll forfeit $300 of my earnest money now, because that's what I put in that blank in 8.3B1. So I'm only going to get 700 of my 1,000 left. What if it says 0? Then they're not agreeing to give up anything. What if it says 1,000 out of 1,000? Well, then they're agreeing to give up everything after the due diligence deadline if they cancel after due diligence. So be careful what you put in there. Know how it works. It's a great tool in a seller's market for a seller to be able to make sure the buyer has skin in the game. It's also a great tool for a buyer in a seller's market to be able to differentiate their offer from someone else's. So if they put something in there and everyone else puts 0, then theirs is going to look maybe a little more attractive to a potential seller. So let's leave it there, and go ahead, look at the YouTube channel if you want more of these videos. We've got now a whole series, a month's worth on the REPC, and just for fun, we've still got these. Thomas Wright, have you won yours? We've got these awesome t-shirts, and in honor of Thomas, we're going to give away 3 to the first 3 people that comment Realtor in the comment. That seems good enough. Realtor, and you can win the Realtor t-shirt. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.